Hey YouTube fam, I am Nicole Wild. If we haven't gotten the chance to practice together before, thank you so much for being here. As always, it means the world. This community really has grown to mean so much to me over this past year of online living. If you haven't already heard, I am going to be hosting my first ever yoga challenge for the month of April, 30 days of yoga uploads. It will not be happening here. It will be happening in my brand new membership site that launches April 1st. The membership is called the Kula, where you can practice regular hour-long and other time-length classes with me. 30-minute classes will stay here on YouTube. Longer classes will happen weekly in my multiple times a week in the membership site. But to kick it all off, I am hosting a yoga challenge. So if you're interested in 30 days of yoga uploads with me, you can check out the link below, or if you're interested in the membership beyond the yoga challenge, you can sign up monthly and no commitment. You can cancel anytime, or you can sign up for a whole year and get a discounted rate, so several months technically free, and then also discounts to yoga retreats, yoga training that's coming up, those types of things also. So it's definitely something to check out, especially if you have been getting lots of messages, really sweet messages of how can I support you taking your free classes on YouTube. This is iteration 2 of me teaching to the online world. So, but I will not be going anywhere. YouTube flows will still be uploaded once every week or two, but they'll stay shorter, about 30-minute sequences. With that said, let's dive into a 30-minute sequence and let's get started in a child's pose. So walking the knees out wide to the edges of the mat, the big toes together, hips sink back on top of the heels and arms extend out long in front of you. Let the heart soften to the floor, the forehead rest to the floor, arms walk out long, but keep all 10 finger pads and knuckle pads engaged with the mat, and then sink the hips towards the heels even a little bit more so that we're starting to lengthen out down the side bodies and get some length in the low back. Find some longer in breaths and longer out breaths. Filling and emptying the lungs even a little bit more than maybe you thought you could. And then keeping the left arm long, let's thread the right arm underneath you so you're kind of lying on the right shoulder. Bring the right ear to the floor. And getting a stretch in the back of the right shoulder. And then inhale, come back through center, right arm extends long, and we will swap it out. Left arm threads underneath you, left shoulder, left ear to the floor. Using your next inhale, come back through center, left arm extends long. Keep all 10 finger pads and knuckle pads to engage with the mat. We're going to stay grounded into the knees, and we're going to roll up past a tabletop position and all the way into this seal pose with elbows either lifted, or if that's too much for the low back, you can drop elbows to the floor, but basically coming down towards the belly with a big heart opener. Roll the shoulders onto the back body like you're trying to thread the heart through to the front of the room. And then on your exhale, soften the heart down to the floor. Extend the left arm out to a T, so wrist in line with shoulder. Bend into the right knee. And on your exhale, we're rolling onto the left shoulder. Let the right toes drop behind the back. One of my favorite shoulder openers, also completely the opposite of the shoulder opener we just took. You can either hang out here, or you could bring right hand behind the back. You could even work towards interlacing the fingers. Squeezing heels of the palms in towards each other. Totally just an option. As always, only go as far as feels supported. And then find your way back through center, and we're just going to swap it out for the other side. So right arm extends to a T, bend into the left knee. And then on your exhale, roll onto the right shoulder, left toes drop behind the back. You can either hang out right here, or left hand could come behind the back. You could even work towards interlacing fingers, but whatever shape you're in, we want to try for keeping the right wrist in line with the right shoulder. So keeping the right arm at a 90-degree angle from the body. And using your inhale, come back through center, bend into both knees and reach the hands around to hold onto the ankles. We're not kicking up into our back bend this early in the practice. Squeeze the knees in towards each other. We are going to get a little bit of a Stretch in the quads, tuck the tailbone down towards the floor, flex into the toes, pull the shoulders onto the back body. So even this is a bit of a back bend, and it's definitely an opener for the shoulders. Release the hands back down to the mat. Keep the knees bent. Windshield wiper the legs side to side a couple of times. Getting a little mobility into the knee joint, into the hip joint. And then come back through center, ground into the knees, press up into your tabletop position. Wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. Take some circles on the wrists. Mobilizing the wrist joint, switch direction of the circles. And then finding your way back through center. One last big shoulder opener here before we pick up our pace. Puppy pose. Take a big step forward with both hands. Keep the wrist shoulder width distance apart and then melt the heart down towards the floor. So hips stay lifted. Softening the heart down towards the floor. The gaze to the top of the mat. One more exhale. Maybe you sink even a little deeper into the shape. Heart pulls towards the mat. And then walking the hands back up through center, wrists under shoulders. Shift onto the fingertips, and on your exhale here, we're gonna round through the back body, tucking tailbone down, pull the chin in towards chest, back of the heart presses up towards sky. Drop the palms to the floor, couple cycles of cat-cow. Let's inhale, open the collarbones, lift the tailbone, lift the gaze, and then exhale, round through the back body. Take one or two more here on your own. Inhales to open up, exhales to round. See if you can really start to set this foundation of connecting movement with the breath. One more round here. Movement with the inhale, movement with the exhale. And then finding your way back into a neutral spine. Let's tuck onto the toes and hover the knees just an inch above the mat. So starting to fire up the core just a little bit. Take a little shift forward and back, but keep the knees an inch above the floor. Take an inhale here. On your next exhale, we're gonna roll back into our down dog by kicking the heels to the floor, straightening out the legs, and lifting the hips up and back. Drop the head here. Drop the head so much that you're actually pulling the chin in towards the chest. Bringing length all the way down the back of the neck and into the base of the skull. On your next inhale, sweep the right toes high. Bend the knee to open the hip. Think of stacking right hip on top of the left. Right heel squeezes in towards the glutes. Come up onto the left fingertips. Maybe you even start to play with lifting the left hand or reaching the left hand around to hold onto the right toes or the right foot. Just an option. You can also stay in your three-legged down dog. Drop the left hand back down to the mat. Drop the right toes back down to the mat. Then let's swap it out. Left toes lift. Bend the knee, open the hip. You are more than welcome to hang out right here, or you can play with coming up onto the right fingertips. Maybe you even reach the right hand around to hold onto the right toes. Really grounding into the finger pads, knuckle pads in the left hand to find your stability here. Come back through center, right hand to the floor, left toes to the floor. We're gonna roll out the dog a couple times. See if you can articulate each vertebrae in the spine as you exhale, roll forward. Come through to your high plank. And then lift the tailbone and roll the hips back, downward dog. Two more times with your breath. Exhale, roll forward, high plank. Lift the tailbone, roll back, downward facing. Last one, exhale. Roll through to your high plank. Lift the tailbone. You can slow it down if you need to. Roll the hips back, the heart back, downward dog. Slow walk with the feet until you land at the top of the mat, coming all the way to your forward fold. Except we're gonna walk the feet even wider than hip width distance apart. Little bend into the knees. You might even hold on to opposite ankles for a moment and just pull the heart back towards the thighs. And as you pull the hands on the feet, you might even feel the shoulder blades spreading apart from each other on the back body, getting a little bit of an opening in the space of the back of the heart. Keep the hands to hold on to opposite ankles if you have them. We're gonna bend into the knees and come down into kind of a Malasana yogi squat. Might feel kind of funky. I think it feels really good in the shoulders. You also don't have to have this clasp with the opposite hands. We're gonna release it in just a moment. Right hand stays on the left ankle or grabs it if it's not there already. You can kind of press the right shoulder into the right knee, and then we're gonna open up the left hand towards sky. So spinning heart towards ceiling. And then come back through center. Left hand holds onto the right ankle. Left shoulder can kind of press into the inner of the left knee, and then right fingertips open up. And come back through center. We're gonna reach both arms up overhead, fingertips to extend. It's okay if the heels are lifted here. We're gonna circle the hands around to interlace at the low back. So all 10 fingers to interlace, pull the heart through, heels of the hands squeeze towards each other. And then drop the heels as you lift the hips, straightening out the legs, diving into your forward fold with this clasp of the hands. Heel toe the feet in until they're hip width distance apart, so ankles underneath the hips. Keep this interlace of the hands for one more breath here. Take a big inhale through the nose, and even an open mouth exhale through the mouth, let it go. Release the hands down to the mat. One vertebrae at a time, let's roll our way up. So articulating through the spine as we make our way to standing. Arms extend up overhead, palms come to touch overhead. Pull the right knee into the chest. Extend the right leg forward to the front of the room. And then on your exhale, we're gonna lever all the way to our standing split. Right toes sweep high, arms come up to airplane wings for a moment. Shift the right hip down, engage into the right glutes. And then we're gonna release the hands to the floor, either one hop or a couple little ones. We're gonna land with the left toes at the back of the mat, right foot high, three-legged down dog. Exhale, shift forward, tap the right knee to the right elbow. Inhale, kick back, three-legged down dog. Exhale, right knee to the left elbow. We're coming into our fallen star, straighten through the right leg. Left foot spins flat, left fingertips reach high. So pulling the hips up towards the ceiling. On your exhale, bend into the left knee, sending the hips towards the back of the mat. Reach the left fingertips forward. And then re-straighten through the left leg. We're gonna pause here. Maybe you play with lifting the right leg from the floor. Maybe you even use the left hand to hold onto the outside edge of the right foot. All are just options. We're gonna come back through center, kicking all the way back into a three-legged down dog, right toes high. And on your exhale, right knee pulls into the chest, step the foot through between the hands. Straighten out through the right leg. Option if you want to ground into the right heel and lift the right toes up off the mat. Shifting right hip back, left hip forward. And then drop the right toes back down, bend into the left knee, and see if maybe you can reach the fingertips towards the front of the room. Left knee is super bent. This is a big stretch for the top of the right foot, believe it or not. Drop the hands back to frame out the right foot. We're gonna kick back into our standing split. Left toe sweep high. And then land with the left foot at the top of the mat, finding your forward fold, Uttanasana. In breath to halfway lift, lengthen through the spine. Exhale to release, fold, plant the hands, step back to your high plank, wrists under shoulders. Bend into the elbows as you lower halfway down. Knees can drop if you need. Press all the way up, high plank. Let's go for 5 today. Exhale, halfway lower. Press up, high plank. You can also just hold at the top. Exhale, halfway lower down. Press back up, high plank. We have 2 more. Exhale, lower. Inhale up, high plank. Last one. Exhale, lower to a hover, pause and hold it. And then release all the way down to the belly. Untuck the toes, bring the hands wider than the mat, tent the fingers, and then pressing into the fingers. In breath, lift the heart. Roll the shoulders onto the back body. Let this feel really good. Glutes are strong. Exhale to release, heart to the mat, plant the hands, curl onto the toes, either with the knees grounded or lifted. Let's press up, high plank. And then exhale, roll the hips back, downward dog. All right, same little warm-up sequence, second side. Step, walk, or hop the feet to the top of the mat, find your forward fold. In breath to halfway lift and lengthen. Exhale to release and fold, let it go. Inhale to rise, come all the way through standing, palms to touch overhead. And then exhale, hands come through heart center. All right, second side. Let's shift weight into the right foot. Left knee comes up into the chest, left foot is flexed. Let's reach arms back up overhead and then straighten left leg towards the front of the room. Left toes pull back, lift the left foot really high. On your exhale, sweep the left toes high as we lever all the way to standing split, but arms to airplane wings to start. Left glutes are engaged to pull the left toes high. On your exhale, we're going to fold over the right leg, planting the hands. You can have a little bend in, or as much of a bend as you need to in the right knee to plant the hands to the floor here. And then engage the core first. We're hopping back to our three-legged down dog. Either one big hop or several little ones, right toes meet the back of the mat. Exhale, shift forward. Left knee taps left elbow. Pause and hold here. Inhale, kick back, three-legged down dog. On your exhale, left knee across the body to the right elbow, right foot spins flat. We're gonna straighten through the left leg, putting outside edge of the foot on the floor, right fingertips sweep high. Reach the right hand forward towards the front of the room. And then bend into the right knee, pulling the hips towards the back of the mat, getting a stretch into the left inner thigh. Keep pressing floor away from you with left hand. On your inhale, re-straighten through the right leg. We're really grounding into the right foot. See if you can lift the left leg to a hover above the mat. Left toes are flexed. Option if you want it to reach the right hand for the outside edge of the left foot. Always optional. And then we're finding our way back. Left toes kick all the way back. Three-legged down dog, right hand plants. On your exhale, left knee pulls into the chest. Step the foot through between the hands. Let's go ahead and straighten through the left leg. Or straighten-ish. Totally fine if there's a little bend in the knee here to make this possible. Option if you wanted to ground into the left heel and lift the left toes up off the mat. Shifting the left hip back, right hip forward. Soften the heart over the left thigh, maybe running nose towards left knee. Release any holding in the jaw. And then drop the left toes down. We're gonna keep the left leg straight, but bend into the right knee. See if you can keep the left foot to the floor as you bend the right knee, maybe until right shin is parallel to the floor, and then maybe fingertips reach to the front of the room. A lot of things going on here, but I'm definitely feeling a stretch in the top of the left foot, which I think is kind of cool. We don't get that super often. Hands to reframe out the left foot. Kick off of the right toes, come all the way up, standing split. Engage into the right glutes to pull the right toes high. And then on your exhale, forward fold at the top of the mat, feet plant all the way together. Bend into the knees as you inhale, come up. Chair pose, sending hips back, sending heart forward. Squeeze inner thighs together. Shift your weight to the toes, heels lift. And then exhale, lower heels down. Two more times, shift to the toes, heels left. Exhale, release, let it go. One more time, shift to the toes, heels left. Stay on the balls of the feet, and on your inhale, come all the way to standing. Arms extend up overhead. And then on your exhale, drop the heels to the floor as you pull the heart, or pull the palms to touch through heart center. Close the eyes, just one breath here. We're gonna pick up our pace. Fill the lungs completely on your in-breath. Open the mouth for the exhale and let it go. Soft opening of the eyes. On your inhale, arms sweep up overhead. And on your exhale, dive forward. Forward fold, Uttanasana. In-breath to halfway lift, lengthening through the spine. Exhale to release, plant the hands. Step or hop to the back of the mat, this time choosing your Vinyasa. So you can lower halfway, you can lower all the way. However you get to your downward dog, whatever movement you take, connect it with the breath. So it's okay if you're not exactly with my cues. We're gonna go 2 more rounds just like that. Again, picking up our pace to 1 breath per movement. Exhale, step, walk, or hop the feet to the top of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale to release, fold, let it go. Inhale to rise, come all the way through standing, palms touch. Little back bend at the top if you want it. And then exhale, dive all the way forward. Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale, release, plant the hands, step or hop to the back of the mat. You can always add on another shape along the way if you want it, such as crow pose or an inversion. We meet in our down dog, movement with the inhale, movement with the exhale, and movement that feels nourishing for the body. This is your practice. One more round, just like that. Exhale, step, walk, or hop the feet, top of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release, fold, let it go. Inhale, rise, come all the way through standing, palms touch, little back bend if you want it. And then exhale, dive all the way forward, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale to release, plant the hands, step or hop to the back of the mat, finding your Vinyasa. Eventually, making your way back to a downward dog. One cycle of breath here. Big inhale, big exhale. We're going to move into our main sequence for practice. On your next exhale, step, walk, hop, float, play. However you get there, land at the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release and let it go. Bend into the knees as you drop the hips all the way to the floor, and then lift the legs up, boat pose. Spine is long, heart pulls forward. Maybe arms extend up overhead, maybe you straighten legs up overhead. One full cycle of breath here. And then on your exhale, bend the knees, plant the feet, lift the hips, forward fold, Uttanasana. Shift your weight into the right foot, left toe sweep up high. As much of a bend in the right knee as you need to plant the hands to the floor. We're gonna hop back into our three-legged down dog just like we did earlier, but this time option if you want it to add a couple hops towards handstand. Maybe you catch the balance for a moment, or maybe you play a bit. We're gonna land with right toes at the back of the mat, left foot high. And then on your exhale, shift forward, left knee taps left elbow. Inhale, kick back, three-legged. Exhale, left knee across the body, right elbow. Inhale, kick back, three-legged down dog. On your exhale, knee into the chest, step the foot all the way through. Straighten through the left leg, bend into the right knee. This time, keeping this awkward bent shape in the leg, kind of a reverse shape in the legs. We're gonna come all the way up through standing, arms extend up overhead. So right knee is bent, left leg is straight. Maybe you bend a little deeper into the right knee for a moment. And then we're gonna move to our high crescent lunge by bending into the left knee and straightening out right leg. Arms are really reaching up overhead. Let's bring palms to touch for a moment. And then on your exhale, cactus out the arms as you open up the heart. Shoulders pull onto back body. Reach the heart through. Re-straighten the left leg as you dive the heart forward, framing out the left foot. And then kick off of the right toes to come all the way back up, standing split. Right foot sweeps high. Start to shift your weight fully into the left foot, lifting fingertips to a hover or even palms to touch at the heart. And then we're gonna ground into the left heel, coming all the way up to standing, right knee up into the chest. And then stacking right knee on top of left, finding your eagle legs. Maybe right toes, double wrap around the left ankle if that's available. Arms are gonna reach back up overhead, fingertips strong, maybe palms all the way to touch. And then on your exhale, we're actually gonna twist the upper body to the left. Right fingertips reach forward, left fingertips reach back. So we're using the strength of the core to wrap the lungs around the heart. Upper body's twisted to the left. We're gonna unravel the right knee. Keep this twist as you kick the right leg back, bringing the right hand just to a hover above the floor. If you need to use the hand all the way to the mat for balance, you totally can. Option if you want it to bend into the right knee and hold onto the right toes with the left foot. Finding kind of a reverse half moon, reverse sugarcane pose. Release the right toes if you've got them. We're pivoting all the way open to a warrior two by stepping the right foot back and windmilling the arms open. Fingertips reach long in both directions. Right foot is parallel to the back edge of the mat. With your inhale, reverse your warrior. Right hand to the back of the right thigh. Left arm comes up and over. On your exhale, cartwheel the hands, frame out the left foot, step back to your high plank. Either move through your vinyasa or send the hips straight back, meeting in our downward dog. Drop the head, full cycle of breath here. We get to do that same sequence again on the other side. On your next exhale, step, walk, hop, float, play, however you land at the top of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale, release. Bend into the knees. We start the sequence by dropping the hips all the way to the mat. Legs lift, boat pose, spine is tall. Fingertips extend forward. This time on your exhale, we're gonna lower the heels and the heart to a hover above the mat. Shoulders an inch above the floor, heels an inch above the floor, inner thighs squeeze together. Inhale to come back up, boat. And then plant into the feet with or without using the hands. Come all the way up to your forward fold. Shift your weight into the left foot, right toe sweep high, standing split. All right, glutes engage to pull the right toes up towards the ceiling. As much or as little of a bend in the left knee as you need to plant the hands on the floor. And you have the option. You can play with kicking up towards handstand, or you can hop straight back. The next place we're gonna meet is in our three-legged down dog. This is my bad side for handstands. With the left toes back and the right foot high. I kind of copped out of that one. I didn't even really give it an effort. Do as I say, not as I do, and practice both sides. On your exhale, shift forward, right knee taps right elbow. Inhale to kick back, three-legged down dog. Exhale, right knee across the body to the left elbow. Inhale to kick back, three-legged. On your exhale, right knee into the chest. Step the foot all the way through. We're gonna straighten through the right leg, bend into the left knee. Last time here. Starting with fingertips to the floor, see if you can keep the right foot to the mat. As you inhale, come all the way up. Deep bend into the left knee. Maybe you bend even a little bit deeper, so we're also stretching out the bottom of the left foot here. Lift up and out of the waist. And then high crescent lunge, bend into the right knee as you straighten through the left leg. Engage into the left glutes. Press the back of the left thigh up towards the ceiling. Palms come to touch for a moment. And then on your exhale, cactus out the arms, opening up the heart. Shoulders pull onto back body. As you release the back bend, hands frame out the right foot, re-straighten through the right leg. Right hip pulls back, left hip pulls forward. As you're ready for it, we're kicking off of the left toes. Sweep the left foot high all the way to your standing split. So we've made it back here. Last time in our standing split. Start to hover the fingertips, or maybe palms come to touch at the heart. On your in-breath, we're coming all the way to standing. Left knee comes up into the chest. And then bending into the right knee, left knee stacks on top of the right. Maybe finding the double clasp eagle legs if that is available to you. Shoulders are to stack on top of the hips. So pull the heart back, reach the fingertips up towards the sky. And then on your exhale, we're gonna twist the upper body to the right. So left fingertips reach forward, right fingertips reach back. See if you can keep the knees pointed forward, but as much as you can, you're wrapping the heart towards right side of the room. Keep the twist of the upper body. Keep the weight in the right foot. We're gonna unravel the left leg and kick the left foot all the way back, reverse half moon. Pavrita Ardha Chandrasana. Left hand is to a hover above the floor for extra challenge, or it can be all the way to the mat for some balance. You can hang out here, or you can bend into the left knee and hold onto the left foot with the right hand, maybe finding a little bit of a kick. Keep the heart spinning to the right side of the room. And then releasing left toes if you've got them. We're coming all the way to warrior two, but slow down the transition, bending into the right knee until left foot plants, and then pivot all the way open. Virabhadrasana 2. Shoulders soften, back and down, reach along through the fingertips. On your inhale, reverse the warrior. Left hand down the back of the left thigh, right arm comes up and over. And then with your exhale, we cartwheel the hands, frame out the front foot. Step back into your high plank. We're gonna take a breath here. Big in breath, big out breath. Find a connection to it. Find a connection to body. And then we meet in our down dog. If you wanna take a vinyasa along the way, you are welcome to it. Move with the breath if you do. Meeting in your down dog for a full cycle of breath, and we're slowing things down pretty quickly here. Drop the head. Last breath in your down dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Then soften the knees to the floor. Cross over the feet to come all the way into a seat with the legs reaching out to the top of the mat. Pull the toes back, sit up really tall out of the waist. On your inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. So think of lifting up and out of the waist. And then on your exhale, let's fold forward. Just a standard seated forward fold. As always, to cool down, pull the toes back, kick the heels forward, drop the head. And then using your inhale, come back up through center. Reach the fingertips forward and use the strength of the core to roll down the back body one vertebrae at a time. So backs of the heels stay glued to the floor as we roll our way all the way down. Once you're down, bring the hands to the belly. Roll the shoulders onto the back body. Feel the back of the heart touching the earth beneath you. Maybe close the eyes for a moment. Just letting body know that we are really working our way down. We're coming down quickly, but making it intentional. Pull the right knee into the chest. Right thigh squeezes into the right rib cage. Right toes flex back. And then dropping the right arm out to a cactus or into a T. On your exhale, find the twist. You're guiding the right knee over the left side of the body. Keep both shoulders touching the floor, and maybe you drop the gaze over to the right fingertips. On your in-breath, come back through center. Let's swap it out. Left knee pulls in, right leg reaches long. Start by actively pulling left thigh up towards left rib cage while also keeping the back of the right thigh glued down to the mat. Left arm drops out to a T or into a cactus, and on your exhale, find the twist. Left knee over the right side of the body, left shoulder is rooted down. Maybe you drop the gaze over to the left hand. Inhale to come back through center. Pull both knees into the chest. Lift the shoulders up off the mat so you can clasp opposite elbows around the knees. Find a super tight squeeze inhale. And on your exhale, release all the way down onto the back, landing in Shavasana. So legs extend long, arms drop out to the sides. Maybe palms face up to receive energy, or you can bring hands to the body to find a little bit more of a connection here. And as always, my really strong encouragement is that you hang out with me in Shavasana for just these last couple of minutes. So whatever is going on in your world after this, I promise it will be there in another 2 or 3 minutes, but you will be dramatically more present if you give yourself this time to hang out here for a bit. This time to cultivate the inner gaze, the inner connection that you have with you. So taking this next minute or so in total silence. Soften the jaw, soften the muscles throughout the face. And all you need to do right here and right now is breathe. Invite in a little bit of a deeper in-breath, a pause at the top, and a deeper out-breath. Find some movement, wiggling the fingers and wiggling the toes, the wrists, the ankles. Take it slow. As always, we are not rushing or jolting ourselves out of this space and into the next one, but we're taking our time, keeping this relationship to the pause. Maybe arms reach up overhead for a full body stretch. Maybe roll onto a side, or pull the knees into the chest. Little shift side to side if you have the knees into the chest and you're on your back. I'm really taking my time here. Next place we meet is back up into a comfortable seat with the eyes closed, however it is that you decide to get there. So no rush, no right or wrong way to land in a seat. Eyes closed. Hands can either meet at the heart space or they can stay resting in the lap. And I thank you so much for moving with me, so much for sitting with me, and cannot wait to practice with you again. Namaste. Thank you so much. See you soon.